Yeah.
Should we keep this out? Board in, board out.
3, 2, 1, and go.
Board in, board out.
In awe right now. Guest today, Christian Hosoi. Man,
Hey.
You are amazing. And you know, besides skateboarding, I think even more important, your story and how you are mentoring people and really making a difference in people's lives. Because you are a role model, right? And you've got a great story.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you figure your life can be an influence on people, whether it's good or bad, and I've been both, you know what I mean? And so for me now, going through adversity and trials and difficult, you know, lifestyles, I mean, I went to prison for being addicted to drugs, and so for me, it's almost like it's my second chance. It's my, you know, I can dust myself off and I can give other people hope that I can turn things around, that they can turn things around. It's not about focusing on the problem, it's focusing on, you know, the solution, and that's, you know, the joy and the actual, you know, act of skateboarding that can actually give somebody the feeling of just triumph and getting better, and, you know, even getting hurt, falling down and getting back up is a learning, you know, lesson. And I know full well about learning lessons like that. I fell down hard, but I got back up. I got 4 boys, I got 3 grandchildren, and
2 young grandchildren.
yeah, that's what I
It's
tell
112,
everybody.
no.
That's what I tell everybody. I'm like, started when I was really young, but, you know, they all, you know this guy, the new guy, the actual one that, you know, was supposed to be all my life, but I was just so busy trying to jump through the hoops of life and to be what everybody else said I was, and all the things that come with being a world champion in any sport. There's all the weight of like peer pressure, you know, being popular, and the parties, the girls, the money, all that stuff, and I lived it up. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the wheels fall off, and the wheels fell off. And I'm just fortunate that I survived it, to be able to come out of it, to actually even look back and appreciate what I've done. You know, there's so many kids that don't have fathers, and they may have an earthly father, they may have a family, but they're not there for them. They're not there telling them, hey, I care about you. And that's what's so great about, you know, mentorship programs and just big brothers, and to, you know, do coaching, you know, skateboarding, because it turns into life coaching. You know, it's not just, I'll help you learn a trick. It's, wait, I'll help you, you know, be able to handle the stress it takes to stay focused, to continue to progress and make another trick and another trick, because it gets frustrating. And when you can help them channel that frustration and turn it into, you know, motivation and progression and paying attention, I think that's when you'll see a kid blossom. That's when you'll see him like really advance, and you'll see him, you know, really grow and mature in not only being a skateboarder, but a person. Yeah, you know, that's one thing that I've, you know, was fortunate to have, is a father that supported me and really motivated me, but didn't forcefully, you know, say, hey, you got to do it like this. He was like, you know what, figure it out, son. You know, but I'm here to tell you, this is where you'll grow. This is how you'll progress, and then he'll let me figure it out. And, you know, I think those are the things that I do with my children now. You know what I mean? With teaching them that they have to love what they do and be passionate about it and to respect it. And I think those are the life skills that kept me, you know, progressing to a point where I became a world champion, you know, because, and then having respect for other people in my industry and my peers. It was all about, you know, competitiveness, but there was good sportsmanship. I think there's a fine line of like what people said was rivalry between me and Tony Hawk, and then me and him being friends.
What do you think was, there's a single thing that sort of changed your life? What do you think that was?
Well, for me, it's, you know, hitting rock bottom. You know, I always say I was searching for love in all the wrong places. You know, I searched for it in fame and pictures in the magazine, girls, money, and finally I was like, if the good things ain't satisfying me and art isn't, you know, making me feel like I've reached the top, well then I'm going to try all the bad things. And I started with drugs, partying, and clubs, and just the radical lifestyle that, you know, when I grew up, it was all about rock stars and Hollywood and drugs and overdoses, and you know, those are the people that are the thrill seekers and the creative people, like, you know. And so for me, I just thought that's where I'm headed. I'm going to go do the same thing. But when I did it, it still didn't sound. It was like there was this big, you know, I say I was like a bucket full of holes, and I just kept putting all that stuff in, and it just kept draining out and draining out and draining out to the point where nothing fulfilled me. You know, I couldn't get any satisfaction, you know, and it wasn't until I finally hit the rock bottom where I landed in a prison cell that I was like, what happened to my life? Boy, when you're at rock bottom, you got nowhere else to go but to be like, you know, I need help. And I opened up the Word, and it was like God spoke His truth to me. And it was like the scales fell off my eyes, and I realized I was created for a purpose. There was a plan for my life, and that, you know what, I can change my life through my choices. You know, my choices got me to where I was at. It just didn't happen to, you know, that's my cards. Oh, that was my, you know, fate. No, it was my choices that got me there, and I realized that my choices were going to get me out. And at that moment, I accepted Christ in my heart, like 2 weeks into my prison sentence, and that's when my life changed. And I always tell people I spent 5 years in prison, a free man, first time in my life. And so here I am today, you know, going to be 15 years completely sober and clean. And it's not about being sober and clean, it's about loving God. And out of that comes the byproduct of me just wanting to not do drugs, wanting to not, you know, cuss and all these things that, you know, now I'm a role model. If I don't want a kid to cuss, I gotta be the example. You know what I mean? And so for me, those are the things that I do because I love God first, and then I love them too. And so it's our opportunity. It's an opportunity that we get to serve and to love other people. It's not
very few people get that second chance, and even if they do, not that they empower themselves and go on that, which is amazing. And I remember you in '79 in California, and you are such a different person, an amazing. You're amazing. I mean, you get it, and you share that with everybody, and you make a difference. Wow. So Christian Hosoi, our guest here today, CJ Skateboard Park and School, Toronto, Canada. I hope you guys listen to this. There's some amazing wisdom here you heard. You're not going to hear this every day. You're certainly not going to hear it from a world-class skateboarder. And there's life lessons, and I think it's awesome. Man, I'm going to give you a hug, man.
Thanks, CJ.
You were awesome. Really, it's great seeing you again.
I appreciate it.
All right, guys, keep skating, skate safe. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
God bless.